said, never mind what they say, you do. And that's the kind of boy I was. Didn't matter what others were saying, I was going to do what the prophet told us to do. We had a strong commitment to preserve what the prophet gave us. And you'd be surprised what we got. You'd be surprised what we got. You know, I can remember Brother Eddie Neal coming into Chicago. I guess it had to be in the 1980s. It had to be over 30 years ago. And, you know, I grew up in a period in the 1940s and 50s. The Moors didn't talk to each other. We didn't speak to each other. Some of us were told not to wear turbans and fences on the street. I never agreed with that because I wanted everybody to know who I was. It was like you had something to hide, or something you didn't want people to know about. Well, I wanted to holler about this from the mountaintop. Islam. You know, I wanted always to have something about me where you could look and see that I was different. I wasn't a Negro. I wasn't colored. I wasn't one of those people that was running out hollering, Ungao, Black Power. I was black and power. I never did that. I never believed in integration because in my mind, the way I figured it, integration was nothing more than being a guest in somebody else's house.
That's right.
And I wanted to have my own.
That's smart.
We were entitled, we were supposed to have our own. Our prophet had told us that he had made us a nation within a nation. And I was always looking around to see where was the evidence, you know. And it was difficult to find. But now, oh, we've come a long way. The Moore Science Temple of America, believe me, take away my word for it, it's on the upswing. It's on the upswing.
That's right, Moore.
You know, as a people, we're laying flat on our back. And some people want us to fight with the European. Well, I don't think I can really give them a good fight until I stand up and look them in the eye. You know, if your head is in the lion's mouth, why are you going to stand on the foot? Stop on the foot.
Islam.
You know, the Moorish Science Temple / Moorish Divine International Movement, according to our holy divine prophet, is the only place where we can achieve our earthly salvation as American citizens. Yeah. So this is what we got to build on. This is our refuge, you might say. And we're building it now to where we got people. Oh, we got people. And I'm proud of the work that they're doing every day. And I'm proud to be your divine leader. You know, spiritually, I've never deserted the prophet. I'm looking forward to being around maybe another year or so. But believe me, there are people who can step into my place because they're prepared. You know, I look at the group of new adepts that we made. I believe it was Tuesday night, it was Tuesday night. And I'm the type of more I want to know you. I want to talk with you. I want to feel you out. I want to know, have you got the stamina to hang in there? Because that's what we have to do all the time.
That's right.
for example, it wasn't easy for Baltimore to get here for a convention, I know that. It wasn't easy for Moulton Bay and Jonesville to get here. I even talked to them while they was on the road up here. I was so concerned about them. You know, I wanted to make sure they made it. You know, it wasn't easy for Andrew Gill and his group to get here. It wasn't easy for Moulton Hill to get up here. Is that you I see sitting way back there? Stand up. That's a more.
Islam.
Islam.
That's a more. And you're going to be back with us in California.
Islam.
You know, when others were drifting away from the prophet, he was screaming and hollering. Ah!
Islam.
Okay, more.
Islam.
To that. You know, I want more to know that it calls for teamwork. But let me say this, and I don't want to hold you long, but then again, I don't mind. I got something to say. You know, everybody else says they say so. That's right. Mine is spiritually more important than that.
That's why I'm on Jesus.
You know, I am the Supreme Grand Sheik.
That's right.
And I understand the importance and the trust that has been reposed upon you. I don't take my position lightly. But Allah speaks through me. And He works with me. And we have a mission to perform. And I call it a divine mission. Never before have I seen our movement bring in a group of adepts like we brought in the night. And except for one or two of them who had to make it back to their domicile, they're here tonight. Stand up, Jonesville. I've known this more for over 20 years. He's been in sync with the prophet for over 20 years. Stand up, Moulton Bay.
Yes, sir.
That's the grand governor, that's the assistant grand governor of Texas. Okay. Stand up, Wilcox Bay. And this more, we're going to make a divine minister also. I'm going to give you a credential before you go back to California. Okay. And who else we got? We got Toronto, Johnson Bay. Have I got it right?
Islam.
Islam? Okay. And we got Kendall, Cunningham, Hill. Am I right?
Islam.
Islam? Okay. And let me think, who else we got? We got from California, we just had him. From Baltimore, we had three. Let me think now. We had, we got one more. Who was it?
Islam.
Okay. Clinton Davis Hill.
Islam. That's right, boy. Islam.
You know, I spoke with that phone on the phone about maybe 3 weeks ago. First time we ever spoke. And he said, well, I'll see you at the event. And I said, I know. Okay. And we made Ill Divine May from Toledo. He's not here. He had to make it back. And we made, that boy there. Okay. Prince Gabriel Judah Hill. Yeah. You know, that boy has been with us here in Temple number 1, not really that long, but he's like the rock of Gibraltar.
Islam.
I mean, he'll be here cleaning the temple, making sure the doors are open. I don't know how we could make it without him.
Islam.
Praise
His
Allah.
commitment to the movement cannot be questioned. You know, every now and then you look and you see that you may have a weakness. And sometimes you got to know how to just remove people from position. And I don't shed tears about it. Because when I remove somebody from a position, I know I'm doing it for the good of the movement, and I'm right or wrong every day. And if you deserve removal, I will remove you. And it's almost like when I was working in the post office. You know, I worked there for many years because I had to support the company. We were few in number, and I had to make sure the bills were paid and rent was paid, and I had to have a steady income, so I wanted to check every 2 weeks, so I stayed there. And I arranged my schedule where I would never work Friday. You know, I never called them up and said, well, you know, I got to work today and I'm not going to be at the proper meeting. No, I never did that. It didn't, you know, I've seen times here in Chicago, I think Bentonville was up here this past January, where we had some snow.
Wow.
I've seen snow so deep that I had to go through that it was up to my waist. I've actually went through snow up to my waist to get to the temple. And it wasn't easy because it was 2 or 3 miles, I lived 2 or 3 miles away from the temple, and the roads were undrivable. You couldn't drive down the road, so I just left out 4 or 5 hours early, and I just did what I had to do. You know, I pushed through the snow. I've seen times where there's so much snow, I couldn't get my car into parking space, and I couldn't park the car. It didn't matter. I've seen times where I had to pick my mother up to bring her to the temple, but I called her and said, I can't pick you up because I'm barely able to make it there myself, but I'm going to be there. You know? It's like with the mailman, neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor hail will keep you from my temple. And I was a teenager when I told my mother and father, the temple comes before you. And I meant that. You know, I couldn't put anybody in front of the temple. That's why a lot of cases, like, I had it, but not like other people had it. You know, it wasn't a marriage, but it was. You know, you know. But then more Earl Chisholm, stand up, Earl.
Mom.